Sound On is back for episode 14. Lots to tackle today, including another deadly mass shooting in Seattle, the second one in several weeks. What will it take to stop them?
Also coming up today, another big move impacting UW. Athletic Director Jen Cohen leaving for USC.
And kids across the region heading back to school. The increasing costs as districts kick off the new year. It's time for you to sound off on Sound On.
Welcome back, everybody. We have another jam-packed show for you today, and you notice things are looking a little bit different behind us.
Yes, we told you we were going to be switching things up over the next couple of weeks, but this show is all experimental. That's right. You know, it's new, it's fresh.
Yeah, we're growing, we're evolving, and just trying to change a few things up just to keep it fresh and keep you guys on your toes. So we have a lot to get to today. Let's talk about the violence that has impacting Seattle over the past couple of weeks. Another mass shooting within the city. 3 people dead, 6 people injured in this mass shooting at a South Seattle hookah lounge that happened on Sunday morning. It's the 3rd mass shooting just in the past month.
It's just a shame, Steve. A lot of people have been talking about this, including our very own police chief, Adrian Diaz, saying the city is seeing a drop in the total number of shootings this summer, but there's been a spike in the number of shots fired at each incident, which means more victims, more trauma for families. Just, it's awful all around.
Yeah, and we want to show you this statement that the mayor put out, and it's a pretty lengthy statement here, and we've highlighted a portion of it for you here just as a result of all the violence that's been happening across the city. So this is what Mayor Bruce Harrell says. He says, SPD is investigating with haste to hold the perpetrators responsible and deliver justice, safety, and peace of mind to this neighborhood and our entire city. We're going to continue to take a holistic approach to this ongoing challenge, partnering with community-based organizations to prevent gun crimes before they happen and support upstream proactive efforts.
And you know, we posted this article and that statement on our website, and this is just another one of those stories that got hundreds of comments. Take a look at AI.Johnson. He said, quick, let's book another all-star game and another Taylor Swift concert so that everything will be clean and safe again. We talked about that on a couple episodes ago on Sound On. You know, is that all for show? Is the cleanup all for show? It seems like people are kind of noticing, well, maybe only the city cares when there's a big event in town.
And I think a lot of people would argue, well, this has been a big event happening, not an event, but obviously a serious crime that has happened. So why isn't there more response to that compared to what we saw, a month plus ago when All-Star Week was happening? You saw the homeless camps that were getting cleaned up, kind of rejuvenation around the Soto neighborhood just because there was this big national audience. Let's show you this second comment that we can too that was posted on our website. This is from Estoy Listo, who says, we will continue to take a holistic approach to this ongoing challenge because it's been working so well. Yeah, let's keep doing that. Keep up the good work. This person says.
Sarcastic comment, you know, quoting the mayor's statement. Yeah, so we definitely can't wait for good things to happen to do the work, and we can't wait for bad things like this to happen to make changes. So I think
we know a lot of you have been sounding off on that. So if you think there's some solutions to that particular approach, be sure to reach out to us. We've gotten hundreds of comments regarding these mass shootings. We know that there was that other one just a couple weeks ago in the Capitol Hill neighborhood, a 3rd one that's happened recently. So what do you think the city should be doing? Is the city doing enough? Should they be doing more? Be sure to leave that in the comments for us as well.
Let us know. Another thing people have been talking about, Steve, in the sports world. This isn't my wheelhouse. You all know this. Steve knows this. There's been a lot of conversation about Pac-12. Pac-10.
Yeah, who you're looking at right here is the AD for, or I guess the former AD now for UW. This is Jen Cohen right here. USC announced that they're hiring Jen Cohen, and this is the latest big change impacting schools in the Pac-12. She's been with Washington for more than 2 decades now, about 24 years, operated as the AD in UW. Since 2016. And then obviously remember that UW and USC, as well as Oregon and UCLA, they're all jumping ship to the Big Ten Conference starting next year. And so, you know, I think this took a lot of people by surprise. We know a number of people commented on our Facebook page. If I can bring up this article here for you here, and we can show you some of those comments here of people that are kind of surprised that this was happening with her.
Yeah.
So look at some of these comments if we can. So Tim is saying, payback for dismantling the Pac-12. The Husky was at the root of it all. Sad the timing of this is just incredibly tone deaf. Tory goes on to say, convinces Oregon to leave the Pac-12 and then leaves. Nice. There was also a comment that was from somebody in relation to UW on here.
Oh,
See that one from Jacob?
Yeah, here it is. All the Cougar fans celebrating like it's 1999. LOL. Well, Steve, as a Cougar yourself, I mean, is this something to celebrate? And
I don't know.
You don't want to bash UW.
No, certainly don't want to bash UW. And then the big question becomes, who is UW going to hire as their new athletic director? There's been some talk about maybe potentially Pat Chun, who is WSU's AD, being hired in that role among a number of other people who are being considered. But I think there's talk that he might potentially want to go to Ohio State. They also have a vacant position. But the question at this point remains is, what's going to happen to Wazoo now? Obviously, you need to fill an AD role at UW, but then we still have this question about WSU's future and where they're going to land after this whole mess with the Pac-12. Are they going to remain with the Pac-4 since there's just 4 schools left and see that conference try to rebuild? Are they going to go to the Mountain West or maybe another conference? I don't know.
So many unanswered questions. What would you like to see? Let us know in the comments when it comes to that. You know what college is all about, though? I mean, it's about the athletics. It's very important.
It is.
But school is ahead. Actual school, education, learning, classrooms, textbooks.
All those little kids going back to school. I can't believe it's that time already.
Kids, teens, college students. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but yesterday, Wednesday, the Kent School District returned.
Yes.
The first district in Western Washington to go back to school.
Yes, I'm a proud graduate of the Kent School District. I remember when I was in school, we started in September after Labor Day, so this is quite a difference from 20 plus years ago of starting before Labor Day. But then, you have all these other schools that are starting within the next week. Next Tuesday, you got Blaine, Franklin Pierce, Issaquah, North Kitsap, Snoqualmie Valley. Wednesday's a big day, another bunch of school districts going, Bethel, Federal Way, Renton, among others. So all of these kids are kind of gearing up for going back to class. Summer's over, your sleep schedule's changing, you got homework to do now.
I know.
And it's a lot, right?
Ending summer was always a bummer for me as a kid, but I loved getting ready for going back to school, the back to school shopping. I used to love going to get school supplies, new clothes. It's going to be an expensive year for families. The National Retail Federation estimating families with kids in elementary through high school are going to be spending an average of $890. That's $25 more than last year. That's a new record. So it's going to be expensive. It
is.
I'm wondering, what are these parents spending that much money on? Like,
I think obviously inflation is a huge factor in all that, right? So that's increased the price for everything. But I didn't have an iPad when I was in school.
I mean, no, they weren't around when I was in school. But I know technology is the thing for students these days. They all have Chromebooks and whatnot. So we'd like to ask you, how much do you spend on back to school supplies? And a lot of people have been weighing in on this poll. Already, 42% say less than $300. That's kind of what I would imagine. I would imagine that too. About a quarter of folks are saying $300 to $500, 10% saying $500 to $700. And look at that bottom number. More than $700. 21% saying more than $700. So how much would you spend for back to school supplies when you were younger? Do you remember? I'm trying to move in with those 21% of the families there. I'm trying to see what are they spending on. Some nice stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, to answer your question, what did I look forward to the most? I really liked school supply shopping. I was all into getting new binders and notebooks and pencils. Yeah, I did too. I always wanted to get a brand new backpack every single year, even though there was nothing wrong with the current one that I had. Yeah. I just wanted something new and fresh for the school year, because why not? Why not? I've seen a lot of stores selling clear backpacks this time around too, probably for safety reasons. But I know that's a hot commodity as well. It is very much so. Let us know what you think and how much are you spending for the kids? Obviously, it depends on how many kids you have. The more kids you have, obviously, probably the more you're going to spend. But we're talking about hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, as we embark on a brand new school year and dealing with high inflation. For sure. So head to our website, take that poll. We'd love to hear how much you're spending on these back to school supplies. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Well, before school starts, there's still plenty of time left for summer. We've got a few weeks in, not for the Kent School District, but lots of fun to be had this weekend. Lots of good events. We got Labor Day obviously coming up at the beginning of September, but then let's kind of show you what's going on with these events over the next couple of weeks. So we have the Evergreen State Fair, which is kicking off in Monroe.
row. That's going to happen Thursday through September 4th. So actually, this is going to go on for a couple of weeks on the weekends. Farm animals, watch the pig races, eat fair food, see monster trucks, and visit the carnival. And we should note there's another important fair that's coming up on September 1st, the Washington State Fair at the fairgrounds in Puyallup, the big one. So we got two big fairs going on around the same time.
Those Fisher scones. Sounds so good. And you warm it up.
All right, what do we got next?
We also have the Enumclaw Pro Rodeo. I'm not too familiar with this event, but I've been down to Enumclaw, and they have fun down there.
They sure do.
Yeah, Friday, August 25th through Sunday, August 27th. Looks like this rodeo is going to be happening, all weekend long, pretty much. Gates open at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Gates open Friday and Saturday at 4 p.m. Do you know what the Pro Rodeo is all about?
Are you putting me on the spot? Oh.
I'm guessing it's a rodeo, y'all, but
look at that.
Definitely go.
Established in 2012, returning a 70-year tradition back to the Enumclaw Plateau in the Pacific Northwest. So it's been around a long time.
And if you're into the rodeo, this is probably an event for you. It looks like there's also going to be an expo center as well. I'm assuming some vendors, possibly. Yeah.
And then obviously the rodeo taking place at the arena there. So that should be a fun event.
Yep.
And then who doesn't love a little garlic? You like adding a little garlic to your food when you're cooking?
Garlic makes everything taste better. It just enhances those flavors. And, you know, I like the smell of garlic.
I do too.
Not on anybody's breath.
You know what I did once? There's kind of a funny family thing in my family. So at Christmas time, we make baked spaghetti. There's a recipe that dates back to my grandma years ago.
Wow, that's awesome.
I didn't know what a clove of garlic was. This was years ago. I had to learn my lesson. So when I was making this one year, I put the whole head of garlic in this recipe, the whole thing.
Without mincing
not a
it
little
or
clove,
chopping it?
but a whole garlic. So my mom was coming up in the driveway, and she could smell it outside because the garlic smell was so crazy. But yeah, we got the Garlic Festival that's going on in Centralia. That happens Friday through Sunday. At the Southwest Washington Fairgrounds there in Centralia. You got garlic stuff, you got beer and wine, vendors, music, chainsaw carving.
Oh, wow.
And apparently a vampire market.
Oh, okay, because that garlic keeps the vampires away.
Right. I mean, it makes sense.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Plenty of fun to be had this weekend. If you go to the Garlic Festival, be sure to mince that garlic up before you put it in your baked spaghetti.
Just use a clove.
Maybe just use a
little clove. Not the whole thing. Not the whole head.
Yeah, that's it for this week's episode of Sounds On. And like we said, you're going to see some more changes in the future. So next week, what we're doing here may look a little bit different again.
Yeah, and you can always check out all of our previous episodes too by logging onto our website, KOMOnews.com. Check us out on YouTube or our Twitter and Facebook pages too.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Bye.